it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. How are you this morning? May I just say it's very cold here this morning. I've just taken my mittens off, my fingerless gloves, I should say, because my hands are really cold. But they're not very attractive, the gloves. So I'm just having a quick tidy up while you all jump on board. Let me just flick over to the screen that I need to be on. There we go. So, my name is Liz Yuille. I'm from Old Stables Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the UK, working across the UK, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium, and the Republic of Ireland. It is my job. I get to do this all day. It's amazing. I wish it was all this all day. There is admin that needs to be done, sadly. But it's all good. I enjoy it all. However, if you are after some Stampin' Up! Products, I would love you to try out my customer service. And indeed, if you are really in love with the products, you need to join my team. Because it's much the best way of doing it. Hello, Karen from New Hampshire. So, hello, Karen, not from New Hampshire. As I say, it's really cold here this morning. It was -3.5 when I went to the gym this morning, which was great fun. Got my nice hot coffee. Hello, Jane from Georgia. So, yes. What can I tell you about what's going on at the moment? Obviously, Christmas is coming. I'm using up scraps again today. Some of them are designer series paper scraps. Some of them are foil scraps. So scraps. Hello, Brenton. Good morning. Now, I would imagine that for Brenton, this is a nice, warm, sunny day because Brenton is from Australia. It's still dark with you in New Hampshire, is it, Karen? Oh, dear. Sunny, snowy in the northeast of Scotland for Audrey. So, yes, what can I tell you about Stampin' Up! News? Sparkling with Frost in Chester for Lorna. 15th. On the 15th of this month, today is the 13th. Oh, unlucky for some. It's free shipping for a qualifying order. So if you place an order that's over a certain amount, so in the UK that's £60, and in Europe where you've got the euro, I think it's €75, you then get free standard shipping. There is no guarantee it will arrive by Christmas, but it's a great way to save some money. So go for it, fill your boots. Hello, Hilda from upstate New York. Leslie from Sydney. Oh, actually it's cold and raining again with Brenton. That's not good. I wonder if it's the same in Sydney. Because I think you're in Melbourne, aren't you, Brenton? I want to say Melbourne. So, yes, free shipping. So this is the time when you go and have another look at the clearance rack. You have another look at the last chance list. And you stock up on basic white, adhesives, all those sorts of things, because free shipping is just wonderful. I will certainly be putting in an order for basics. It's one of those things you suddenly think, or rather you don't think, you think you've got a lifetime supply of envelopes, and having sent out most of the Christmas cards that I need to send, I don't have a lifetime supply of envelopes. I have sufficient, but I need some more. Where have we got? Hello, Shaz. I hope you and your daughter are doing well. So, when you're watching, if you're enjoying what you see, a like is always appreciated. During the live, and there isn't always, but there should be a live somewhere on the screen to let you know it's live. Then you can chat. If you've logged into your Google account, you can chat in the chat area. If you're watching on replay, you can leave comments below the description bar, and I will get back to them at some point. So please do. Oh, you're halfway between Melbourne and Sydney. Why did I think you were in Brisbane? Probably because I hadn't grasped that you weren't. Okay, in which case it's probably the same weather with Leslie, who is in Sydney. So yes, And if you don't already subscribe, hit that subscribe button so that you get an alert when I go live. Assuming you want an alert when I go live, that's always a good thing to do. I put out on Facebook, and I must get it on Instagram, according to YouTube, I had over 1 million minutes of watch time in the last 12 months. So that means all of you guys watching got me to that million mark, which is just ridiculous. Something like over 12,000 likes, which is just awesome. So thank you very much for those. Oh, it's hot in Sydney. Well, that's interesting, because if Brenton is halfway between Melbourne and Sydney, and it's not, it's cold and raining where he is. Wow, that must be local. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera down. I have done a tiny bit of prep, but I do mean a tiny bit. So there we go. You get my shoulder in shot. That's always a plan. So all I have prepped are some layers, a card base, and a few scraps, but I need to cut some more scraps. I'm using for my scraps the, I want to say Painted Christmas. It is the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper, which in Europe is still available. I don't need the Gnome Stories. That's going to be for other things. So all I am doing is cutting, or all I'm going to do, is cut 1/2 inch strips of the Designer Series paper. And then what we're making is this card. So it's a variation on Bruno Bertucci's scrappy strips, but these are strips not pointed. It worked out really well when I did it dry, which means it's obviously going to go completely wrong doing it live. 12,001 now. Thank you, Lorna, because Lorna has liked. Hello, Nora. Hello, Pam. So let me get my trimmer and we will get started. I may or may not use the 2 that I've got there. Those were left over from my previous go. I cut 3 pieces at once because it's only paper. So I'm just layering them up. These were 12-inch strips. They're now, or lengths rather, they're 6 by, well, now they're going to be 6 by 11. So cut 2 from each pattern, because we are going to need more than 6 designs. So I'm going to use both sides. And obviously you can use whatever papers you've got, and you really don't need very much. So this really is using up those annoying little scraps that you didn't want to get rid of because you thought they were going to be useful. This is how you're going to use them up. Oh, and I need another glue. I need a glue. Oh, drawer. I had one that was... I think I've got one going somewhere. Oh, I think it's in the house. I'm doing a December daily. I do like doing a December daily, and it's, I think I've got the other glue that I was looking for in the house. Right, okay, so I have got 2 pieces of early espresso. One is 5.5 by 3 3/4. The other is my usual 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. If you are working in international A4, and they're always, these are the measurements I always use. I've got a 1/2 sheet of A4 scored in half for my card base. So all I'm going to do is making sure I've got the small piece. I'm going to grab my glue. I will see if I can use this up first. And I'm going to add a bit of glue. You don't need to do much onto your card. And I like having a fairly bold pattern at the top and bottom. So I'm going to go for this. And I'm going right up to the edge with this one. But for the next one, and I might as well use, actually no, I'll use that side, I'm going to have a slight gap. Hello, Jan. Jan will be going to work, I would guess. on your way to work this morning in Florida. So I'm currently frying my legs again, because that's kind of what I do during this cold weather. I was recording something last night. I was trying to think why I was in here. I was recording something last night and it was 4 degrees when I walked in. So I don't know if you can see. Let me get my... There we go. There's a very, very, very small gap between those two pieces. And we're going to keep that gap going. And you can just spread your bits out so you can see what you've got. And as you can see, I'm deliberately going over the edge so that I can trim those off when we get there. And I've chosen to use the same colour as the next layer as much as anything, because that way it will all blend in, so the edges won't show, for example. Sadly, Jan is going to work. Pam is trying hers as well. I don't know what you're trying though, Pam. Trying to use up your scraps? Trying to get your glue to work? Tombo is less inclined to move in cold weather. -10 on Monday night, all day yesterday. Yeah, it was when I say 4 degrees, I mean in this room. We haven't had anything as bad as -10. We've not been far off, but yeah, the 4 was in this room. Because I've got underfloor heating, which is criminally expensive to keep going, I'm not. So, yeah. Not trying frying. Ah! I'm frying mine as well. Your legs, you mean, with your blower. So, I always find these conversations by chat interesting in that there is a delay between what I say and when you hear it. And then, of course, you react, and there's by default, more delay. So please forgive me if I'm never quite sure what you're referring to. Today's delay is about 20 seconds. Hello, Claire. You're frying your legs, Pam. Okay. Yeah, it's not a clever thing to do, she says, with her left leg being quite warm at the moment. So for those of you who shopped with me in November, this is going to be one of the cards you get to make. It's always a challenge trying very hard to find things to send that do not involve needing a stamped image. This does have a stamped sentiment, but I'm working on the premise that most people will have some form of Christmas stamp. So this is going to be one of the projects that my November customers get to play with. Right, so have I done that one yet? No, I haven't. So we'll do that one next. And I was just about to do my thank you gifts as well when I suddenly realised it's time! I need to stop. But those are in progress. Come along. As I say, because it's cold, my glue is being slightly reticent about being used. I've used both sides of that one. Oh, I haven't used this side of this one. No, I haven't used this one. And then again, I want something reasonably solid at the base, so I'm going to use this one. Now it is going to come off the end, that's fine, I can just trim it down. It's going to be reasonably fat. So I had my eyes tested yesterday, because I know I've been saying my eyesight was not as good as it was, and I'm right. My eyesight is not as good as it was. It's fine. I do need new glasses. However, unless I bought a pair of glasses specifically for doing YouTube lives, I'm still going to be squinting at those comments. Right. Yes, I've only got a little bit sticking off the bottom there. I'm going to leave that to dry for a moment whilst I do my stamping. And I'm going to be doing some heat embossing. So, embossing buddy. Stamp, which is from, let me grab the stamp set. It's from the annual catalogue, and it's the Christmas to Remember stamp set. You've had snow since 8 AM this morning. Wow, Audrey. We had snow yesterday, but not today. So I'm using Merry Christmas. Obviously, there are loads that you could use. You could use Magic is in the Air, all sorts. And I've actually put carryover on it, happily in an ink that I can get off when it's no longer a carryover item. Right, so let's just blow that a little bit. I'm not going to be too fussed if this isn't completely straight. If it's madly crooked, I will be fussed. No, that's all right. And I kept out somewhere, there we are, my gold embossing powder. So I'll just dabble that in a couple of times just to make sure I get good coverage. And then flick. And pop the lid back on. And trusty cheese board. I'm going to apologise for the noise because it's heat gun time. So who is all organised for Christmas? I'm not. Jan misses the snow. No snow in Devon. -6 in Devon today. Wow. Making chicken soup on your slow cooker. Ooh, yum yum. I like that, Jan, missing the idea of snow. There we go. I love snow so long as I don't need to travel. If I need to travel, I'm not so keen on snow. Right, okay, so this should now be dry. Let me pop that out of the way. Let's pop that out of the way. Somewhere I had snips. Wrong ones, these ones. Right, okay. So I'm going to trim all of the edges and then I'm going to trim that little end. So I'm doing it from the back, pushing my top blade against the edge of the card so that I am straight. So I'm literally pushing there, and that helps to keep you straight. And it also helps you not cut your card. Not at all organised, but that's okay, fair enough. Brenton isn't ready. Karen is ready. Audrey, not even got your tree up. We don't put our tree up until normally Christmas Eve, so we'll probably buy it sometime this week because otherwise we'll be left with the Snoopy version of a Christmas tree. Sad little twig. I mean, if push comes to shove, we have got some fake trees, but I do like a real Christmas tree, and we've got a Christmas tree farm near us, so it's really easy to go and get one. And they're always very good, so Right, okay, let's pop those bits in the bin. I am part way through my reorganisation still. I have to say the cold weather isn't conducive to sorting out my room. Just saying. Right, so this is my larger piece of early espresso, so I'm going to attach one to t'other. I think that might now be dead. Let's pop it in there to dribble a bit. Right, card base, bone folder. I must stop putting things away, I can never find them. Right, this is the front because it's slightly longer. Just got some baking to do, but everything else is done. Well done, Leslie. Jan's tree is up but not yet decorated. The family comes tomorrow night to decorate the tree. Oh, family tradition, I like that. Yeah, it's one of the things I do. My dear husband has very little interest in the Christmas tree, so I spend, it's normally about half a day. No, I'm going to go the other way up. Don't know why, but for me the other way up is better. So yeah, it's normally about half a day for me to decorate the tree. We're going to go ice this year, so it's going to be pale blues and silvers. Right, I've got some tiny bits of real red and garden green ribbon, which I'm going to use. I used them on this one as well, just coming out at the end of my sentiment. But the first thing to do is to flag the end of my sentiment. So I'm going to cut down the middle, then cut off at the point where I want the points to be, and then cut in from the point to the end of the cut piece. It's much the easiest way of doing a flag end, because then you know that your edges are level. Okay, so what did I do before? I did green and then red. I might do red and then green because I think I've got a smaller bit of red this time. So I'm just going to pop some Seal Plus onto my card, to my sentiments back. Pop that on and add a little bit more Seal Plus just there, so that the top has got something to adhere to. Then more Seal Plus on top of that. Ooh. Hello, Carol. Don't worry about, you're not late. Oh, thank you for reporting him. We're at it again. Dear heavens. Come on. Report. Ironed. He's gone. Marvellous. Usually yours goes up, your tree goes up on your wedding anniversary on the 8th. Oh, okay. Lorna's tree is random decorating, things made or collected by children. Oh, that's lovely. Things you've collected over the years. Thank you, Shaz, for reporting the troll. Hopefully between us we will have got rid of him. It's interesting that this one actually had a kind of proper name. Normally they're not. Now I know someone was asking, how do you report a troll? You should see 3 dots down the side of everyone's comments, and if you click on those, one of the options is to report, and then you get to choose why. Oh, for crying out loud. hide him. Go away, we don't want you. Why do people have to do that? Right, so I'm going to use black things, dimensionals, because early espresso is very dark. I am going to have to move my fire very soon, or my legs are going to catch fire. Yeah, I think I've got rid of him. Have I not got rid of him now? Message deleted, and he was hidden. Oh, I'll report him as well. That should have got rid of him now. Right, so this is slightly longer than I actually need it to be, so I'm going to just pop it there and then trim that end off. Hello, Sherry. Remember, you can always watch back on replay, so it's never a problem. Just fit it in with your day. So there we are. So that's the one we've just made. This is the one I made before. Oh, I haven't put my dots on. Need to put my dots on. Red rhinestones. I love red rhinestones because you get them. They're all the same size, which I quite like, having things that are all the same size. Now, these are not necessarily going in the same places as the first lot. They're just going in places, really. And I'm going to do 5. There. Right, so that's that one done. Now, I haven't done any of the sequins, but we are doing sequins next. So I've got some of the silver foil, and I've got some of each of the designs. So we've got the very shiny, almost black, it's almost a purpley black, the what we call standard silver, and the matte, which again has got that sort of violet tone to it. Grab my mini cut and emboss, and I am actually going to use some of, oh actually no, I could use some of the back of one of these. So I'm going to choose a fairly bland pattern. That might work, but I think I'm going to go for this one, which is actually holly, but that's fine. It's nice and pale, and I think with the silver against it, it'll work well. So I have got, somewhere I've got cutting plates. Oh, there they are. Right, cutting plates. So let's see what we can do. Let's get that off. So I'm going to start with my very smallest piece, which is this. And I might actually be able to get a big sequin. So these are the, what do we call them? Oh, sequin dies. Yeah, ooh, I think that's a bit close. I could have got it, but I think it's a bit too close for comfort. So we'll try this one instead. We'll go down one size. So we'll go down one size. And we'll have, there's 3 of them next size. So I'll have one of those. And let's have some of the not quite smallest size. Okay. Right, top plate. So these are in the annual catalogue. Hello, Lisa. Sorry, I was squinting at the name. So we have got lots of lovely sequins, and obviously I will be doing some more in the other colours, for want of a better word. So the idea for this is we do all end up with funny little bits of foil, and sometimes there's not much we can do with it. So finding something to do with it is always a good idea. I quite like the idea of that one having a large sequin. So I'm just going to cut straight across. I probably won't use all of this piece, but it just gives me a piece that's wide enough for that big sequin. I'll have another of those, and I think we'll have some tiny ones which I need to poke the ends out. You've just got these dies. Brilliant. I keep forgetting I've got them, and then when I was thinking about what I was going to do this morning, I thought, ooh, use up scraps of foil. What I will have a go at, just to check, is what happens when you use it on glimmer paper as well. So I will grab a piece of glimmer paper in a moment. So that's those, and some of their middles, but that's fine. And then we've just got the dark one to go, and I don't want too much of the dark because it is quite dark. So I'm just going to straighten off this edge-ish. So that's scrap. Well, not scrap, but I've used it. I have got that little piece as well, but I think I'll just stick with what I've got. And I'll go one of those medium ones. In fact, we might do 2 mediums. Come along. 2 mediums. Now where's the one? That's the one. And some long, actually. Will I get those in there? I will get those in there, I think. Yay! Okay. Top plate. And then I'll just grab a piece of the glimmer paper. Brenton likes the sequin dies. I have to admit, I have used them once, and that's it. Leslie's just bought them as well. They do seem to be the, Christmas. Somehow sequins and Christmas go together. Right, okay. That's clear. That's clear. Let's use my metallic magnetic thingy, which the lovely Lorna gave me. Ooh, sequin. Right. Okay, let's get rid of those. And grab some of this. I've got a small piece of the gold, which I won't use on this card, obviously, but as it's a small piece. Now, this has sold out in Europe, but you may have bits of glimmer paper left over. There's the white and red as well, or is it red and white? Who cares? But I just want to see what the glimmer paper does when you use a sequin die. Come on. I'm not convinced that it's going to be amazing, but we'll give it a go. I'm going to go back and forward a bit because the glimmer paper is obviously quite thick. So it's whether it's going to, yeah, it's not, it's okay. I can just about see that it's embossed, but so I wouldn't use it on glimmer paper, but on foil, yummy. So let's get rid of that and that and clear that a bit. Pop that in my magnetic thingy. Get rid of that. Okay, so we've got lots and lots of sequins and their holes. So let me grab, I've got a piece of smoky slate, which I am going to score in half. I had to check that wasn't my cutting blade. Okay. so we've got that, but I will also need a piece of paper behind. Is that going to work? I'm not sure. Not convinced. Let's have a look at what we've got in here instead. I think this might be better tonally. But if I could find, that should work. Right, I've got lots of people, but I want this side. That's better. Right, so this is going to go there. I'm going to just do this by eye because I don't have a straight edge yet. Now I have enough straight edges, so I can cut there and there, and we can build on that. So put it away again. Can't see it if I've put it away. Ooh, I'm picking up sequins with my sleeves. Never mind. Right, so that's going to go on there with some liquid glue. Now you could, of course, put an embossed piece behind. So this morning I did the first of my things you can do with embossing folders. Wasn't an amazing idea, but it was an idea, to just part emboss a piece of card. But putting a piece of embossed behind here would be jolly good. So I'm just going to lay these in no particular order, and I will be putting things in them. Let's pop that up there. Actually, I might go down there. So this is just, you know, creating a background, and they will get popped up. And I'm going to have a sentiment there. So let me grab. Ooh, no. Ooh. No, I think I will. I think I will. I do. I think I will. So I'm going to grab some balmy blue. And happily I have a piece that's more or less okay. So let me grab another sentiment from the Christmas to Remember. Can't be anything too long. Don't want holly. That's a holly jolly Christmas. I might just do... Oh, I might do Magic is in the Air. Right. In which case I don't need a piece of card anything like as big as this. In fact, I have tucked to one side much better sized pieces. In fact, I've got even better sized pieces. Right, and I'm going to go silver. So, back to the Versamark. And hold it in place. It's almost straight. Such things would never happen normally. 2 dabbles. trusty cheese board. And apologies for the noise. Right, magic is in the air. It says so. So that's going to go kind of there. In fact, let's get it there. Of course, you could just use your guillotine if you want a straight edge. Right, dimensionals. Like that. So if we pop that, oh, might go to the edge again. No, I do, I quite like going to the edge there. So magic's in the air. I don't know what that's got to do with sequins, but hey, that's fine. And then, oh, I know what we can do. We can go from large to small. That's going to go under there. So those are all like that. Tie that one there. That one. That one. Another silvery one would be nice. And then we can have our really baby ones, preferably without their holes. Kind of like that. Let's pop another of those in. Yeah, right, okay. Shaz needs to make some more cards. Now, you see, I thought I needed to make lots more, so I did. Then I tidied my craft room and found all the cards that I had left over from last year, which is fine. I've just got to remember that I've got them for next year now. Now you can shape them a little bit, not much, but you can shape them a little bit if you wish. You could put them on with dimensionals if you would rather. I have inappropriate comments from David. I can't see a David, Karen. How odd that I can't see him. No. But thank you. Maybe you've got rid of him for me. Sorry, I've got a cold nose. How odd that you've seen him and I can't see him. So, as I mentioned earlier, these are going to be the 2 cards that my November customers get. I may or may not be using the same papers. The only reason I say that is because by the time they arrive, it's likely to be after Christmas, so I might be using different papers. Barbara can't see either. How very odd. Nor can Pam. Well, maybe Karen managed to get rid of him, or somebody else got rid of him, in which case, many thanks. Now for these tiny ones, I'm just going to pop a dot of glue and then just add the sequin over the top, which I'll go a bit further over there. Oops. Are we all on YouTube? Oh, you see David now. He said hello. Oh yes, so he did. I thought I'd stuck that one down, but I haven't. I don't mind David saying hello, but if he says anything more offensive than hello, then it will be goodbye. Right, so that one and that one. You haven't seen any of the trolls, Leslie. Okay. You have to be on YouTube in order to comment. And you have to have been logged into your YouTube account in order to comment, which is also your Google account, just so you know. So yes, I might be using different coloured card and different paper because I want the cards to be usable and not until, don't need you to hang on to them until next Christmas. So that is that one. I was thinking I'd put embellishments on, but I don't think it needs it. So those are the 2 cards, but as I say, I'll switch out the paper. I may even use some sneak peek paper, you never know, because my customers are special, so they get special treatment. So there you are. Those are our 2 cards for today. I'll keep an eye on David, but in the meantime, I'm going to flip the camera back up to there. Dear Lord, my eyesight really is appalling. There we go. So, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, a thumbs up is always appreciated. As I say, if you're one of my November customers, you will be getting card kits that are similar to this, as in they will be the same techniques, but using paper that's more appropriate for after Christmas. Thank you, David. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel. And if you keep your language good, you get to stay. I didn't see anything inappropriate, having said that, but thank you, Nora. So, thank you very much indeed. As I say, if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, please subscribe. You can do that in the bottom right-hand corner. If you're watching on replay, I will have changed the title to have the word replay in it, and I will also have changed the front screen to have replay in it. Okay, that's lovely, David. I think we will get rid of that, but thank you. That's jolly nice of you. So, after which, oh dear, it was going so well. So, thank you very much indeed. Audrey's off to clear some snow. Brenton says always a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. I'm glad you like the cards. So thank you very much indeed. Remember, if you're in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium or Ireland, and you either want to join Stamping Up or buy Stamping Up products, I will be thrilled if you would shop with me or join my team. All of the information about that is over on my website. I will be back on Thursday for another session live, and that will be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. Until then, thank you very much. Bye for... Thank you, Karen. Bye for now. Got to find that screen again.